Okay, finally a white. I got 4 or 5 rapids in a row as black. All right. F6? Okay, we got a bozo in the circus. You could even play F5 here, but F5 that don't do that, guys. There's no point in doing that. Just because your opponent wants to go to the circus doesn't mean you need to act like a clown. All right. Yeah, they love doing this. They love playing like this, and you just take on the full center. Just take on the full center. Do not complain. I'm going to do this, play knight c3. He can keep doing whatever he wants. It's not going to go well. This ain't going to go well for you, pal. You're going to run out of pawns at some point. Okay, already here we could try h4, because h5 would be nice. If he plays h5, then we could play bishop d3 and e5 and start to target this. Let's go for it. Yeah, this is starting to get a little tricky. Okay, now bishop d3. I have ideas of e5. f5 would also be very good. This is getting very tough for him. If I play e5 right now, his knight gets in, so I'm just going to keep being patient. This is a very funny position, honestly. All right, I'm going to castle and just get a bit safer. What I'm hoping to do, I'm going to eventually break on the queen side now, because the thing is he's actually sort of well poised here because of these pawns for this e5 break. I could still break on f5 conceivably with some knight e2, knight f4 idea, but I don't see any point in it. Well, that's just a mistake. That's the whole problem with this position here. As soon as he tries to break somewhere, he's going to be giving me a lot more scores than he's getting in return. All right, here. He's going to be getting the square for his knight, but that's not the end of the world. We play queen e2, takes bishop takes knight f5. He has a little compensation there, but that should still be bad for him. Let's play queen e1. If takes, I take with the bishop. He plays knight f5, and I play d5. I'm just breaking open everything. If he wants to take the bishop, he can take the bishop. Not my concern there. I'm just trying to open the center for my much better placed pieces. This is a very funny position, honestly. If he doesn't take here immediately, I could even just keep building up with rook d1. The rook is going to be well placed, because sooner or later this kettle is gonna blow. All right, let's play rook d1. Just continuing to wait him out. If he takes, I take with the bishop. Knight f5, I'm happy to play d5. Probably bishop f2 should also be played sooner or later. e5 is another idea. I just don't like the idea of e5 giving him also the square. Well, a5 will play b5. Yeah, I'm completely fine with that. If he takes, I take back this way, and I'm completely dominating his knight. Look at this. These two pawns combine to perfection. His knight is dominated here. Even if his knight gets out here, it's still dominated. His pieces are dead. Am I watching the Godfather movie? Because that's a dead horse. That's a dead donkey in the bed. That's an old reference. I wonder if my target demographic is going to understand that reference. C5. Well, he's building a powder keg, but that's not going to work if I'm the one who has all the the development. That's just not going to work. Just start taking the pawns here. Yeah, this is not going well. This is the ironic thing. If you're going to play a position like this, you need to be extremely patient, but often people just get too impatient and then they just start blowing the lid on everything. But that's definitely, it's like the worst way to play this, because now I just have so many more pieces in the game. Yeah, it's my neighbor's laundry machine going off in the background, in case you're wondering. Queen c7. All right, I'll just we could just play queen f2, can't we? Yeah, let's play queen f2. Bishop b6 an idea. B6 is also an idea. All right, this is fantastic. There is no way he's getting out of this one. He could play knight d7, I take, he takes, then I take his rook. Yeah, things are looking tough for him. Maybe knight d7. Well, no, knight d7 I even can take here. Yeah, I would much rather just take and take this way, and then I can take later. This is a great position. Yeah, I just had a really interesting business meeting with a friend of mine who's he's a GM here and he's teaching in Hong Kong. And yeah, we were just talking about like the Asian landscape for teaching chess, and it's very interesting, honestly. Yeah, it just seems like Asia's like fertile soil pretty much for like chess businesses and chess companies, because like there's a massive wealth of people who want to learn chess, but there still aren't that many grandmasters. There are not that many international masters. So yeah, it's very interesting stuff. But anyway, let's get back to the chess. Just b6 here. Game should be over pretty soon. Queen c6, we play bishop b5, queen b7, knight b5, knight d6. Yeah, I mean, the whole idea here, guys, is that when you have so many more pieces in the game, as soon as the game starts to open up, he's just going to have tons of weaknesses here. So this is not going to work out. All right. You know, knight b5, knight d6 would definitely be good enough. I'm wondering if knight d4 is even stronger. No, knight b5 is much better. We're just going to these two squares. This has to be terrible. They have to be in a lot of trouble here. Yeah, black is definitely in trouble here. It's legitimately time to go.
Fantastically. Match of the day.
It's time to pack things up.
Why you? No, don't
It's
interrupt.
time to go.
Don't interrupt me.
It's going time.
It's time to go.
Don't.
I guess technically he could take on e4, but that's still not going to work out. Takes on e4, I play knight d6. Where does his queen even go? If his queen goes to c6, I play bishop e5. This is such a bad position for him. He could technically take here. No, come on though. There must be several wins here. Rook d4 for one thing. The queen, is he going to play queen h6? Come on, man. This is not working out. I have so many different tactical ideas. Even this would work. Takes and just b7. And I'm getting a rook for nothing. Not really much to add to this game. Yeah. No, I'm very excited though to be going back to the Western Hemisphere. I've been in Asia for like 7 months now, and it's honestly been an amazing experience. I'm really happy to have come, because pretty much all the places I went to were places I had never been before, at any point in my life, not just as an adult. And yeah, it's very nice to see Asia. Unfortunately though, just I have so many lessons with people that are in the Western Hemisphere that I'm just so used to. I'm just so used to the weirdest sleep schedules. Like right now, I'm going to sleep at like 7 a.m. and waking up at 2 p.m. That's just my normal sleep schedule because I have lessons throughout the night. All right, here we're gonna take. Okay, I like knight g5 a lot. Knight g5 definitely works. We're going for one of these checks. Knight f5. Knight f5, rook d8. This is not going to go well for him. Technically, he could take, but I think queen b2. Queen b2 should end the discussion. Yeah, queen b2, king f7. At the very least, b7 is going to be really serious. King f7, rook takes f5 almost works, but he takes this way. King f7, another idea even would just be bishop takes e6. All right, b7. Takes, I take, I'm winning a lot of material. I also should be mating him pretty quickly. King f6, queen b2, king f7. There must be some mate there. There has to be. Gosh darn it, there just has to be a checkmate. Yeah, I guess, wait, takes king f6. The way to win would just be rook d6. His knight is pinned, and I'm going to play rook takes e6 next. Something like rook e8, I have queen d7. All right, he's playing for some checks. He is playing for some checks. But if he checks, I just play queen f2. What is this about? The check doesn't even do anything. I always have queen f2. There's so many ways this doesn't work. Queen e3, I could also just play king h1 and the knight is pinned. He doesn't even have any more checks. But let's just play queen f2. This is the simplest way. Hopefully I sent a message with this one. That's what this bird channel is all about. It's about sending a message and telling them that this is not a clown opening. You cannot treat this like bozo. All right, let's play another. I like this guy's name. Right off the bat, I love this guy's name. Give him the old razzle dazzle. Great name. What better name to play against than play with the Black Mustang? Get the engines ready, guys. H5, I don't even know what this is. I just made this up. I've been playing this way for quite a while, just throwing in H5, and it gets the people talking. Truth be told, honestly, it's not that bad, though. You can definitely do this. Maybe it's 0.5 for white. Definitely not the end of the world. It's a very interesting idea to just start throwing this pawn forward. Okay. So this is where things get tricky. If you play h4, g4, that tends to benefit them. So here we're just going to wait, and we're just going to switch gears and just play knight f6, d6, bishop e6, and I'm going to... Excuse me. I'm just going to take a pot shot at this h3 pawn. See if we can give him the old razzle-dazzle. It's a fantastic name. Kudos to you, good sir. Your name is amazing. Let's play bishop e7. Castle. I honestly don't know what's happening here. This was my idea. We're going to get this weird structure. Objectively speaking, it should definitely be dubious if he could get a bishop to this diagonal, but he cannot because he put a pawn here. And so now we're going to play h4. h4, g4, and I'm going to drop the knight back. I'm trying to dig the knight into the castle. Wait, actually, wait, should I be digging the knight into the castle? We should be digging the knight into the castle. If I go queenside immediately with my king, he might play b4, b5, so I want to keep my king's options open to castle kingside. In the long term, if I can castle kingside, trade the dark squared bishops, I might have hopes of eventually using the square, using the open f-file. Another idea would be castles and just knight g5 immediately. Yeah, this is a legitimately very interesting position. b4. All right, bro's going for b5. I could take on b4. He takes on b7. I play rook b8. What is this position here? I guess, could I go for that? That looks really, really strange, though. If he plays b5, is that the end of the world? No, I just play knight d8. He's just not even winning anything there. Let's just castle. Let's just keep it simple. This ain't no Christoph Selecki course, but we are keeping it simple, if you know what I mean. Okay, yeah, b5, we're going to play knight d8, covering this, and eventually, I'll be getting the knights around. This pressure looks a little uncomfortable. I don't really see what the problem would be here, though. Long term, my plan is simple. I'm going to trade the bishops and then really use the dark squares in the open f-file. I need to figure out a healthy way to defend this pawn, though. I don't want to end up sticking my rook on b8. That's not going to be fun for anyone. I could try c6, but no. c6 takes. My knight is just going to be way too ugly there. We're going to need to figure out something else. I might be worse here. My h5 opening experiment might have just backfired, but, you got to give them the old razzle-dazzle. That's what it's about. Okay, well, I think that's actually a mistake, because the idea was here, I didn't like that after rook b8, he could just play queen a4 and attack this pawn. The whole idea is I want to move this knight out of the way, but I can't do it as long as this pawn is hit, so I have to play rook b8. Now with the pawn on a4, I could just play rook b8. If he wants, he could play a5, a6. I'm not really concerned about that. He can go for that if he wants. Let's play knight f7 here. He plays a6, we'll play b6. He hasn't really gotten that much. a6, okay, so if I take, he takes with the rook. That's not going to be good. But we just played b6 here. We've given him the light squares. It's still not that much, though. I don't know what he's thinking about. He should definitely implant the bishop on c6, but yeah, actually, if he does that, h3 is going to be a little weaker. All right, what is going on here? He is playing f4. This is honestly getting pretty messy. I could play g5, but g5 really compromises the light squares. I don't want to have to do that. If I play knight g5, f4, that's really tricky, though. Oh. I could play knight h8, knight g6, but no, he was just going to play bishop e4 and stamp that out. All right, let's play bishop f6 here. to start to x-ray this. If he plays knight e4, we'll play queen e7. Also now, if bishop c6, I can always park my queen on a much more natural e7 square. A very strange position. I hope he stays true to his name, though. I'm still expecting some razzle-dazzle. Queen b3, that's interesting. All right, so I mean, the idea here at knight g5, f4, takes. We throw in a check, king h1. What is this position, man? What is going on here? Could definitely play g5, but g5 just locks all my knights, and I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that if I don't have to. Let's just play queen e7. It seems like I've ceded a lot of space on these light squares here, and indeed I have, but he has no way to break through here. Notice there's no real way for him to get at this pawn. I'm making sure not to trade this pawn off and let his knight into this square. All right, f4. We play knight h8, f4, takes, bishop check, king h1. We play knight g6. That looks complicated. That looks interesting. Okay, we're going to go for it. This is a mess. This is an unmitigated mess. Could think about doubling up on the f-file next. Very bizarre position here. Once I'm doubled on the f-file, then I could reasonably play bishop g5 here. Knight e4. All right, here can we play knight g5? No, knight g5. Yeah, this is getting deeply bizarre. Let's play knight g6. If he takes, we take with the rook. He plays f4. I take. Yeah, it's getting a little complicated. I'm going to be sacrificing an exchange as expected. But I will have fantastic control of the dark squares. This is a very strange position here. Okay, we're going to take. That's just not good. He just dropped this pawn. I don't know what that was about. Yeah, you just got to be patient, and then you got to give them the old razzle-dazzle. That's what it's all about. Well, now, of course, this position is just winning. Because I got the pawn, and that was a really critical pawn. That was the one pawn he had left on a dark square. So that means that he is going to have tons of dark square weaknesses now. All right, we could play knight g5. Takes. Yeah, let's just play knight g5 here. Takes. Then he plays rook f1, and we play rook f6, and we're just going to double on the f-file. Nice.
Time to go.
You can't even spin a four.
It's time to go.